What we're really about in trying to create these high performance teams or these horizontal organizations is really it's about shifting the culture. I mean, that's essentially what we do. And when you look at shifting a culture, there's really four aspects. The first one is that you're attempting to shift people's mindset and shift the way they look at what they're accountable in the organization. So as opposed to just being accountable for themselves or their people, they're accountable for their peers, their boss, the enterprise. The second one is you're trying to give people a common skill set. So how do you hold peers accountable? How do you manage conflicts? How do you listen? How do you assert? How do you lead? So there's a common language, regardless of wherever people came from. The third is you're trying to give people a consistency of ways of working, so they understand what decision-making means, what issue resolution looks like. And then finally, you have a committed leadership group that's really creating a notion in people's minds that there's something at stake to work as a high-performing team. And therein it also counts vis-a-vis the performance management system. So shifting the culture is really what the game is about, because it's always important to remember that it is counterintuitive to work as a horizontal organization. It's far easier to work hierarchically because that's essentially where we've all grown up. When you look at the skill requirements for high-performance players, it's probably important to harken back to what most people have said over the years in terms of the greatest challenge to work on a high-performance team. And what most people will tend to say is that it's about peers holding peers accountable. It's trying to influence without positional authority. That's a challenge for many people to do. And so consequently, when you look at what are the skills, there's really two foundational skills. One is the ability to listen non-defensively, to be able to hold up a mirror to people. And the second is to be able to assert, to put out your points of view in a way that will not be off-putting. Now, again, these skills are important because if you're dealing with holding peers accountable, there are many times when you're going to have to become more comfortable having uncomfortable conversations. So the ability to provide feedback, the ability to hear feedback and do it in a neutral way without getting your hackles up and without being defensive really challenges many people. So when you look at listening, that's the ability to mirror. It's the ability to say, here's the message I'm hearing, here's what I hear you saying, I think the gist of what you're saying is such and such. So in a very neutral light, you're trying to allow someone to know that what they're saying is landing on you, you're getting it. You're not defending, you're not agreeing. The second aspect of that is the ability to assert. It's the ability to provide feedback in a way that someone can hear it. So I feel, because is a classic assertion statement. So when you come in after 8:30 every day, when we agree that 8:15 would be the starting time for our meetings, I feel frustrated because the message I'm getting is that you're not abiding by the ground rules we set up. So assertion is about being able to put your needs out there. Listening is about being able to meet the needs of the other. And it becomes a dance going back and forth, essentially. So the biggest challenge in mastering these skills is because it's difficult for people to not be reactive. It's very difficult for people to not defend when they're met with feedback that they don't like. And so consequently, these skills give people another paradigm or an alternative way to be able to come across other than normally their reactive, emotive, defensive posture. And it's crucial if you're going to make it work, because fundamentally if you have a high-performing team and it's about peers holding peers accountable, where everyone has a point of view and it operates like a managing board of directors, you are going to mix it up. So these skills enable people to mix it up in a way that still preserves the business relationships. That's why it's critical.